Last month I made a video about hybrid teams, and I just wanted to make a follow-up video to that. And mostly, I want to give everybody a shout-out for last month coming out and liking my video. The hybrid team was a well-liked video last month. I much appreciate it. We'll make a follow-up video to it, and I'm afraid it's going to be a little bit disappointment. Because even though I think that Alliance War is moving towards hybrid, I shifted away from it a little bit this last month and actually got better results. And I fall right in the middle of my alliance. I typically focus on offense, and I don't care if I get defensive wins, but I had multiple wars this month where I pulled 4, 5, 6, 7 defensive wins. And I think it's because I switched up my strategy to make the most use out of my roster, which may vary for you. First things first, we had to talk about offense. I know that a lot of people probably want to know about hybrid defensive teams, or we're going to talk about that because I think the game is going that direction. But I got to say that the main thing is to have a strong offense. You're going to have 10 offensive teams, 8 defensive teams, 90 total characters, and those should be very clean. At the end of the war, you should be able to hit the button in the screen and see what characters you didn't use. And if you have your best teams not used or characters not used, maybe there's a way of squeezing them in somehow. And so I'm just going to scroll through very quickly my 10 offensive teams and why I'm using them. Black Order, of course, counters everything. Symbiotes, also very useful almost everywhere. We've got X-Force, which I love using against Doc Ock and Mercs. X-Men, which has fallen off a little bit. They really have. This team has fallen off because we're not using Beast in there. Brotherhood 2.0 counters a lot of teams. This Supernatural, I'm also saving Hela, and I'm substituting Hela for Elsa for Wave 1 Avengers. This team right here, actually, I use Red Skull. So this is actually my Blitz save squad right here. But normally, I use Red Skull right here and then another Hydra minion. I use Namor right here instead of this. X-Men's excellent. And then my very worst and last team is going to be Power Armor. And I just want to also point out that I have Hela and Ultron and Namor to sub in. And then I also have some pre-taunting tanks, Red Guardian and Drax, for depending on matchups. It's always depending on matchups. Who will sub in? For example, if I come across a Marauders with a weak Strife, Fantastic Four with Ultron, and putting in Namor seems to work just fine. And so everything is situational. Come out to the stream and you can see if I go 6 for 6. I made some changes to my defense based on some of the losses I've had in the last week as well. First things first, let's go through my defensive team and my strategy. And I want to say that there are some monster characters on defense in war. And they are as follows: Doc Ock, Emma, Captain Marvel, and Ghost. And I'm going to suggest to you to not put any one of those 4 characters on the same team. Think about it. Why Doc Ock is horrible to come across solo. Ghost, Captain Marvel, and Emma. Just don't place them on the same team. Put them all on different teams. This is a big deal. In fact, that is probably the whole message and theme of this video is those 4 characters need to be on different teams. And because they are a force to be reckoned with by themselves, why would you want to clump them onto the same team when you could be wasting everybody's teams? Because that's kind of the idea, is that you want to waste teams when they come through. So first of all, team number 1 is Technerva. Nothing fancy about this. Now I want to say that I'm using a different ISO configuration than most people. I put Skirmisher on Groot and Stryker on Star-Lord and Rocket. Now this is not my idea. I wish I'd have screenshotted it, but about a month ago, someone put this in the comment section. I goes, "You're right. I don't use these guys outside of Defense on War, so why not?" And this allows for the Skirmisher Striker combo. And what that is that if a Striker goes and there's no vulnerable up, and he's assisted by a Skirmisher, Groot, these guys have assists very early in the game, he's going to get a triple attack or a quad attack. And so the idea here is that maybe you get lucky in a quad attack and you blow up their their main unit. Like if they try to go in there with power armor and whoops, we deleted your rescue. That's what the hope is right there. Now, Doc Ock also. I lost to this. Okay, I put healer on all of them. And let me explain. Doc Ock's passive in war, when he drops below 20% health, he clears heal block and gets 100% turn meter. And so, like, X-Force will go after Doc Ock, and the idea is just to destroy Doc Ock quickly. Well, if all the heal, and if he's got the lowest health on the team, all the heals are going to be put onto him, right? And he's going to be going below 20% health, pinging up to 100%, healing, and going. Almost like an invincible Doc Ock. By putting these, putting health ISO on these almost makes for a situation where Doc Ock will go into red and then ping back up and go into red and ping back up and taking turns and taking turns and taking turns and wrecking nerds. Again, one-man army. Don't suggest putting them on the same team as Captain Marvel, Emma, or Ghost, because those characters do the same thing where they can destroy they can blindside a whole team. Might as well split them up. Captain Marvel, same situation. No point in putting her. She's a one-woman army. No need to put her to double her down with Doc Ock, Ghost, or thing. Like it's just the idea is that I'm going to create multiple teams where hopefully they have to use this, like the logical counter for all of these teams, let's say, is Brotherhood 2.0. And by the time they get to the end and they get to my Inhumans with Coulson, they're not going to have Brotherhood 2.0 because they've all been used up in these lower matches. And that's the idea there, is that Captain Marvel, like when I go up against this team, these two teams right here, Doc Ock and Captain Marvel, all I'm looking at is the size of the Captain Marvel and the Doc Ock. And it's like, wow, I have to beat that individual character. Wave 1 Avengers. Frankly, Wave 1 Avengers is much, much better with Thor. And Asgardian on defense is not good anymore right now. Now, also, if I had like a 6 red Hulk, I probably would take him up to 14 because this matchup a lot of times comes down to the size of the Hulk. And so if you have a super beefy Hulk, it does merit upgrading. It makes this matchup right here, I'm looking at basically the Thor and the Hulk. And if the Hulk is ridiculous, it can be a problem. And the same thing, heal ISO, heal. Mercenaries, this is kind of an easy to counter team. I've tried a couple different configurations on this team. I was taking out Shuri and I was put in Red Guardian. I'm finding that I get better use for Red Guardian on offense on my Hydra 3.0 team. And so this does just fine. And this always sucks up a good team. All right, this team right here, I'm not happy with. I've been trying it. I'm keeping it for right now. There's a couple things about it. Is Loki I might be able to use on offense with Hela. These two are completely on. These three characters right here are completely benched. Scientist Supreme, Heimdall, and Sif were completely benched. Now, there is I have a screenshot from one of my alliance mates. And I got to give a big shout out to Dr. Noisewater and Oz for helping me a lot. Where this team actually took out an X-Men because Ghost actually can go through Phoenix pretty easily. And I think that's probably the best use of X-Men is against this team. But there is a possibility with Scientist Supreme to keep reviving Ghost. Ghost is going to be put under stealth from Loki. Sif is going to be taunting. And the idea is that maybe Ghost will just destroy the team, the incoming attacker. And that's fine. I do think that's a good idea. Okay, now this right here, Emma Rodders has a big opportunity to use hybrid teams for sure. Sabretooth is the weak slot. And a lot of people are putting Doc Ock there or Minerva there or Ghost there. And I thought that was a good idea initially. But the thing is that Emma is so good by herself. And pretty much have to take a good team in here to counter this. And yes, Doc Ock would make this matchup harder. I agree. Putting it on here. But Doc Ock by himself is another hard match. I'd rather waste two teams than one team is the idea. And by putting Doc Ock on a different team and not here, I feel like right now I'm getting better value. Now, the idea of hybrid teams is that, you put Doc Ock on there, and it actually created a problem for me in my last war where I went up against an Marauders with Doc Ock, and what happened was Mr. Sinister, and I used Black Order, Mr. Sinister cloned Proxima stunned Thanos, and then Doc Ock extended the stun, and I lost. And that can happen, but I feel like wasting 2 teams is a better idea. And this is a good team on its own, so why not make 2 difficult teams? Doc Ock on his own is fine. Now, if this gets to where I need to break down this team, like I really want to replace this team and maybe put something else there, maybe Axeman. I don't know. Axeman I think is better on offense. But, there may be some consolidations, and definitely Sabretooth is the place to replace the character. Lastly, I love this team. This team's natural counter is Brotherhood 2.0, and a lot of these other teams, I believe, before this would have sucked up all the Brotherhood 2.0, and then this team usually ends up taking a Black Order out. It's just about being efficient with the war, and I know that people want to create wacky hybrid teams, but actually this month, for right now, I'm having better results going more with the more traditional teams. And a lot of it has to do with the site where I've developed my roster. Characters that I'm really excited about. Doc Ock. I just want to say this. I'm taking Doc Ock to ISO level 5, and I'm going to be taking him to 15. And I'm hoping that he's going to be a defensive war beast, and I'm going to also be using him Dark Dimension 4. I just think he's amazing. Also, Emma, I've switched her over to healer. And same thing, Dark Dimension 4 usage. Amazing. Ghost. I'm hoping to remake this team. I want to build a team around Ghost that is confusing. I was thinking about putting Ghost back over here with Minerva, and then putting Minerva over here with Sabretooth, and then dismantling this team right here and putting something else there. That is probably what I'm going to be doing for next month. Next month, probably Ghost will be right here in Minerva's place, and Minerva will be over here in Sabretooth's place. But those are the characters I'm really excited about, and if I pull some red stars on Hulk, I could get excited about Hulk. But other than that, that's what I'm going to be doing. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I really enjoy thinking about Alliance War. I've had a lot of fun with that. It seems to be one of my favorite things to do in the game. What about you? It's definitely better than RTA for me, without a doubt. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming.